Once upon a time, in a big red schoolhouse, there was a little glue stick named Sticky the Glue. And oh, did he love his job? He loved gluing everything. The kiddos would say, "Hey, Sticky, could you glue my chair to the floor so I can do a flip?" Or, "Hey, Sticky, could you glue my crayon to my hand so I won't drop it?" Or, "Hey, Sticky, could you glue my shoes to the wall so they lay super high up and out of reach?" And Sticky was happy to help. He loved being a glue stick, but most of all, he loved sticking stuff to the teacher, Miss Funtasti dot haha. She never saw it coming. When she turned around, bam, her stapler was glued to her nose. Then when she went to grab the stapler, she would end up with more on her hands than she bargained for. One day she looked down and her entire hand was stuck to the stapler. Then one day she said, "HMM, I wonder if I could stick something to the board." So she picked up Sticky the Glue and squeezed him onto the board. And wouldn't you know it? The next thing she knew, she was stuck to the board dotto. Boy. Now she couldn't get to her bell to dismiss the class. She couldn't get to her stapler to staple their papers. She couldn't get to her marker board to erase. She couldn't get to anything. So she called out, "All right, class, who's the smartest, quickest thinking student I have? Who can come up here and save the day?" Timmy Tuttle shot out of his chair and raced to the board. He started pulling and tugging at the glue, but it wasn't working. "I need some help," he yelled. Over came Lucy Loxley with her super glue fixer upper spray. She hit the board with the spray, and sure enough, it started melting away the glue. Soon enough, Miss Fantastic was free. She gave Lucy a big hug and asked, "Who has the next bright idea?" But they all shook their heads. They were pretty tired of having a teacher who kept getting glued to stuff. So they thought maybe they should ask Sticky the Glue what his deal was. Why did he like sticking her to stuff so much? He was sitting on the shelf when they approached him, and he was very proud. "Well, you all got me pegged," he said. "I just love to stick things to Miss Fantastic. It's so fun to see her struggle and squirm. Hee hee." But the class was not amused. "That is not funny," said Timmy to Toes. "You make Miss Fantastic's job really hard." "Yeah," said Lucy Loxley. "If she can't get to her tools, how are we supposed to learn?" So they told Sticky that if he didn't stop, they would take away his favorite thing, his cap. He wasn't sure if they could actually pull it off, but he figured it was worth a shot. So from that day forward, he tried his hardest not to get Miss Fantastic stuck. But wouldn't you know it? One day he just couldn't help himself. She was writing on the board, and he thought it would be funny to stick her marker to her hand. So he waited until she reached for another color, and then he struck. She didn't notice right away because she was busy erasing something she had written. "Oh," said Sticky the Glue, "I think I got carried away again." Sure enough, the marker was stuck to her hand, but not only that, the glue had dripped onto the board and fused the two markers together. She finally noticed and said, "Oh, great, now I can't erase." But then she had an idea. She took her other hand and used it to wipe the marker off the board. That made Sticky the Glue think of something. If she could use her hand to wipe the marker off the board, then maybe she could use her hand to wipe the glue off the board. So she took a deep breath, closed one eye, aimed her hand, and wiped. It worked! The glue melted off the board and into a little puddle. And then something really interesting happened. As it sat there melting, it started to shrink and shrink and shrink. Before their eyes, Sticky the glue went from a tall, proud bottle to a tiny little button. He was so cute. The class was kind of scared at first, but then they thought, well, this is a good lesson about taking responsibility for your actions. And besides, he's just so cute. We can't stay mad at him. So they all chipped in and bought him a little desk. It was smaller than a pencil, but it was his very own. And he would sit at it all day, watching the class work, wishing he could go back to being a normal glue stick. One day, Miss Fantastic brought in a brand new supply of glue sticks. And when she pulled them out of the package, wouldn't you know it? They were all little tiny buttons. Oh my goodness, she cried. What happened to you, Sticky? He felt terrible. He didn't want to scare all these new glue sticks. He wanted to warn them, but he was too small. All he could do was watch as they got put on the shelves, wondering if any of them would turn out to be misfits like him. One day, he heard a commotion and he looked over and saw that one of the new glue sticks had fallen onto the floor and was struggling to get back up. His name was Gummy Glue and he was very scared. Sticky wanted to help, but he was so tiny and Gummy Glue was so huge. There was no way he could help him. Or was there? He remembered that once you became a certain size, you couldn't change back unless you went through a special shrinking and growing process. That was really dangerous and difficult to control. But if anyone could do it, he could. So he called out, "Hey, Gummy Glue, don't worry, I'm coming to help." He rolled over and bumped into a little pebble. It wasn't much, but it gave him enough momentum to start rolling across the floor towards Gummy Glue. It was a long journey, but eventually he made it over to Gummy Glue and said, "I'm gonna need you to do something for me." Gummy Glue looked down at him and said, "Anything. Just please help me get out of this predicament." Sticky the Glue told him to hold still and he positioned himself on the edge of the pebble. Then he took a deep breath and pushed off, launching himself into the air. He landed right on top of Gummy Glue and said, "Now squeeze me." Gummy Glue was confused, but he did as he was told, and as soon as he did, Sticky felt himself shrinking and growing. He kept his eyes closed and counted to 10, then opened them and looked around. He had grown so much bigger. He was almost as big as Gummy Glue, but not quite. "All right," said Gummy Glue. "Now push me." This time when Sticky pushed, he felt himself shrinking and growing again. When he opened his eyes, he saw that he was a normal-sized glue stick once again. "Thanks, Sticky," said Gummy Glue. "You saved me." Sticky the Glue was exhausted from his big adventure. He had gotten Miss Fantastic and all the other glue sticks in trouble, but now he had a friend. And that is the best kind of glue stick story ever. Hey, glue goers, thanks for watching. We hope you like this crazy, gooey tale about friendship and responsibility. Did you learn anything from it? Share your thoughts below. We can't wait to hear all about it. If you enjoyed this animated story, be sure to click the like button and subscribe to our channel for more hilarious and educational content for curious kids. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting upload. We've got plenty more fun and engaging videos just waiting to be discovered. So next time you're looking for something entertaining to watch, why not check out one of our awesome animations with tons of amazing shows and specials to choose from? We know you'll find something that makes you laugh. Think and explore the world around you in a whole new way. Plus, we are always adding new content. So there's always something fresh and exciting to look forward to. So sit back, relax, and let the learning begin. Remember, you're awesome. Keep being you. See you next time.